Okay, good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start with a new module, that is module 3. So in this module, the syllabus, I'll just read out the syllabus before starting of the class. Module 3 consists of basically two parts. One is social responsibility of business, or we can call it as a corporate social responsibilities. And then we have entrepreneurship. You all know what is entrepreneur, and entrepreneur will see different parameters of entrepreneurship. And in the social responsibilities also we'll see a different category, the meaning of social responsibilities of business towards different groups, then social audit, business ethics, corporate governance, and several other topics which are embedded with the syllabus. So though there are certain things which are not covered in the syllabus, but that will be also highlighted. And apart from that, we'll also cover the entrepreneurship, where we'll see the definition of entrepreneur, importance of entrepreneurship, then the concepts of entrepreneurship, characteristics, classification, and models. Then we have the capacity building and the problem faced by the entrepreneurs. So with that motto, we'll start with our corporate social responsibility. So can anyone tell me what is corporate social responsibility? What does it mean? See, we should interact actually. Then only we can be able to understand this subject very easily. Because if I become transmitter and you become receivers, after some time this will whole thing will get evaporated. So you have to interact. You have to communicate. In the module 2, you must have seen the communication, right? Should be lateral, vertical communication. We should communicate. Otherwise, it is not going to benefit in any way. Yeah. What is corporate responsibility? What is social responsibility? Anyone? Anyone who can throw some light? Monisha, Kavya, Likhit. Okay, fine. Social responsibilities means, so there are certain obligations by the corporate sector, government sector, for that matter, any kind of organization which is there. We have to do certain social responsibilities apart from the normal what you do the primary job. So apart from your primary responsibilities, you have to do certain social or additional responsibilities. So basically, we'll see in this what is this social responsibilities. Then we see the levels of CSR. Then we see the different areas involved, different labor issues, arguments for CSR, and arguments against CSR. So what is corporate social responsibility? A company must act responsibly, and criteria for social responsibility must be adopted to contribute towards consolidating better companies, not only in social terms, that is companies which are more useful to society, but better companies in pure economic terms, that is better quality, more efficient, or more competitive companies. What do you mean by this? See, basically every company, every business, what these business have to do is, apart from normal looking for the profit and earning things, they have to also look after their people, their welfare, and there are certain methods are there to adopt such things. So these certain social responsibilities means basically a kind of what you are doing for a society. But because the society is giving you everything, the society is giving you the land, the society is giving you the manpower, society is giving you everything. And company also should also see that you also undertake their the well-being, and not only well-being. Apart from that, you have to also do something for the society. And so there are so many companies which are there, but now the government has given certain criteria. Now for this social corporate responsibility, the business responsibility, there are so many businesses are there. They say that there are certain businesses which are more than beyond 10 crores. So they have to mandatorily they have to contribute to the society. That is what is some rule has come. Now for the companies which are having profit less than 10 crores, so there it is not mandatory, but if they want, they can take up. But finally, what happens is when the auditing happens, whenever the investigation team comes and checks for the companies the following, whether companies following all these rules or not, that time they may question what kind of social responsibilities you are doing. You are earning only profit, but however, what are you exactly contributing towards the society and all? So these things at that time they have to come up with some justification. So basically, the company has to give to the society. This is something called a social responsibility. So and inevitably, bold concept of which we can say that, which include voluntary actions by companies aimed at dealing with workers, consumers, or investors or shareholders concerns. In short, concerns to all citizens basically. Inevitably, a broad concept of which we can say that it includes voluntary actions by companies aimed at dealing with workers, consumers, investors, shareholders, in short, same concern with all citizens. Basically, this is a voluntary as of now, but there are certain companies which, like Infosys is there, which is actually a very big company. So you might have seen Infosys chairman and Mrs. Sudha Murthy. She undertakes a lot of social responsibilities. She conducts a lot of she takes so many things you must have seen. She a lot of things apart from normal routine working. She also undertakes some social responsibilities. She goes for secondary this thing. She on charity. She conducts some lectures. Some on charity. She gives some donation to the various societies. So all these things actually come under the social corporate responsibility. Why? Because these companies are very big shot, very high. They are having profit more than 10 crores. So when they have profit more than 10 crores, then what they have to show on document. So they have to do some charities and some society they have to contribute social responsibility. So for that they do it and they document it also. So sometimes we can define the social responsibility as responsible companies perceive the current environment, globalization, social demands, transparency, broadening of markets, environmental changes, etc., as an opportunity to underscore their role in society and their potential for leadership in sustainable development. What happens is every company is trying to progress. Now, so when we talk about the companies earning more than 10 crores, a big shot companies, we are not talking about the small scale industries or the small companies. It is small scale industries and small companies. It is voluntary till now. So social responsibility they may undertake or they might not undertake. So that is what is there. So once you talk about the big companies, they have to. So if you log into some kind of big companies, you can see there is a small in the website. Also, they can see as at the corner of the website, you can see CSR. That is the corporate social responsibilities of that company. What they are doing, how they are doing. So the why because the whole government is checking on those companies how they are doing. If they are not following the corporate social responsibility, they are liable for actions, disciplinary actions and all. So they have to undergo certain social responsibilities. Now, since there is a competition, so what happens is because of the competition, now they have to progress. Now they have to convert this social responsibility into a kind of opportunity. So for that, so many companies, they offer, like in case of a government, you can say social responsibility is like in case of a Air Force, we can talk about, is a leave travel concession. There is something called LTC. LTC means your family, your whole yourself and your family, you will be given with the LTC for 1 year. Every 1 year, you can go to any part of India free of cost, on government cost. Just you decide, okay, you decide that, okay, let us go to Ladakh. Okay, your family decides, okay, take a flight from here to Bangalore to Delhi, and Delhi from there to Srinagar or Leh, and from there you can go to, by road you can go. So all that, whatever you do, the travel, Air India, the air expenses will be borne by the government. So it's just, that is one type of a responsibility which is shown towards the society or your own workers. Now this is, even if the company does for their own employees, that is also considered to be a social responsibility. They can claim it. So, but however, they have to give it to the society. Now the impact of a company's action on society, that is also very important. So now this, how much action you do on a society, that also matters. So you can't wave out like I can't just you give some kind of minimum welfare points and then you cannot just escape from the social responsibility. You have to actually document it. You have to do it in a bigger scale because you are earning more than 10 crores. So you have to show everything so that the charities, societies, you have to contribute donations and all. So this also very important. Don't write in exam donations, but I'm just telling you how exactly they undertake this. Now this requires a manager to consider his acts in terms of a whole social system and holds him responsible for the effects of these acts at all levels of the system. Now business has an obligation to society which extends beyond economic and legal duties. That means the business definitely has, because when you consider a business, it is a family actually. In fact, you have to look after your family. Not only that you are getting things from the your own subordinates, but you have to also give, you have to look after their welfare. Like obligations are there, so many obligations are there. Sometimes, you know, there are so many welfare boards are there. Now this, you can, if you quote an example, Karnataka, there is a state board transport corporation, KSRTC. They have opened a society for their members, those people who are working for KSRTC, drivers, conductors, or the managers, supervisors who are working in KSRTC. So they have made one society. In that society, what they have done, they have so many schemes are there. So in that society, they have purchased some land from somewhere, and they are offering lands to their own employees by making them members, by paying some minimal charges. So something, these are the things which actually a obligation to the society, other members which you are doing. So this has described one of the important social movements of our time. And the definition is subject to economic and cultural and legal context. The meaning differ depending on the players. Now, the CSR, globalization, sustainability, and governance. So there are a lot of things are involved in this. CSR is also, it also affects globalization, the sustainability, and governance. So we need to sustain the business. Now, to sustain, sometimes, you know, what happens, these kind of corporate responsibilities, when you are doing and you publish in the media, so many times we see Sudha Murthy is doing that thing, she's doing contributing to the society, she's actually helping cancer patients, all that things, these are actually part of your social responsibilities. And what happens is, when you do this, you are it also attains your company's profile, and companies also will like, you know, they compete with others. So in all angle, everything they see, then overall this one company is doing very well because of the CSR and other activities. They are upper hand compared to the other companies. So that is also a kind of a sustainability which is required at this point of time. Now we have levels of CSR. Levels. There are different levels of corporate social responsibilities. That is, one is social obligations, and then social responsibility, social responsiveness. Now, what is social obligation? Social obligation is meet minimum regulations, do what is required by law, no more. That means there are certain levels of CSR. Why I'm telling you, because there are certain levels of companies also. We have different companies. Some companies may undertake CSR. Some companies may not undertake CSR. But those companies which are having profit more than 10 crores, it is mandatory by the government. So they have to undertake. But there are companies which are lesser than 10 crores and just above 1 crore. There are certain things they have to do. So minimum requirement, they have to follow certain things. Now they have to do certain minimum standards they have to achieve of the social responsibility. So that is why this kind of social obligation is there. Now then comes social responsibility. Go beyond what is required by law and mitigate negative effects. So sometimes, you know, you have to go beyond certain laws or the rules which are given by the government. So that is what is called as a, see, some people will take it as a social obligation. It is an obligation, so we have to do it. Okay, let us do it. Now there are certain people, the companies which say, okay, social responsibility, I will take the responsibility of certain. Okay, then now one company may say that yes, because of the COVID, let's say example, the Maruti company, what they did now, Maruti company, because of the sales going down, the automobile, we saw that during COVID, because there is no transportation, there is no, everything is locked down, so there are no vehicles actually. So the sale of the vehicle also went down. So during that time, what this Maruti did, on the pretext of social responsibility or other CSR, they actually started developing the ventilators. You must have heard Maruti company started developing the ventilators for the COVID-19 patients. Now these ventilators, though it is because it is easy for them because it's an automobile company and they have all that infrastructure to develop the ventilators. Now it becomes what now? They also claim this as a social responsibility. They also can show in their documents and in their this thing, yes, we have done the part of social responsibilities. We have undertaken these kind of COVID during COVID pandemic. We have undertaken such kind of actions. So this can be claimed. Now what happens is because of that, not only your market, the advertisement happens for the company. Company also actually gets more attention. Okay, this company. See, I am only telling you. I can't quote any other company except because Maruti came in limelight. Maruti general manager or the chairman director, he came on India Today and announced that thing. So that he is going to develop the ventilators. So this gives actually social responsibilities. These are the things which, whenever something happens, they take it as an opportunity and develop that thing. So this is actually beyond your what the law. No one has told you to do this, but it is of their own. They are doing it. So you are going beyond the law and you are doing it as a social responsibility. Now there is something called social responsiveness, the proactive approach or the promote positive change. Now this is beyond the responsibility. There is something responsiveness which is proactive action we are doing, which is more than what is required. So such things are called as your levels of social responsibilities. Okay. Now I can put it in this way. To quote an example, social obligation. Comply with wage and work time laws, minimum benefits. See, a small company who is actually having some kind of 2 to 3 crores of profit. So those companies, what they do, they take it as a CSR, some kind of small things like they comply with the wages and they comply with the working time. The working time is also now becoming a CSR. Now you can see some companies work overtime. They work. There is no working hours. Just you have to go and work till late night, midnight. You must have seen already the corporate world is into that. So that is actually this thing. So now if you may fix a working, now let us say we are now in Sai Vidya only, our own college, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology. We are complying with all the CSR this thing because we are having our own wage profile. We have a specified working time and also minimum benefits. Benefits are more here. Minimum benefits means whatever required minimum that is given here. So I don't consider this as a part of CSR, but I'm just giving an example, like how this comes. You can quote with any example, like a small companies which are there. You can talk to them. You can just see how they are doing. You can go to any company's website. You can go through and open the website and see in the corner there is a CSR. You go to Indian Institute of Science. Indian Institute of Science website. There you will find CSR. Now CSR in there, so many CSR activities are there. Just go through that and see how they are doing. It's a government institution, but they are doing some kind of minimum benefits to the officers and men who are working in the institute. So now there is something called social responsibility. Now this social responsibility is beyond the social obligation. Now this provides added benefits, labor benefits. Now it's over and above this your wage, working time, or the minimum benefits. It's more on towards the more benefits. You are giving more benefits, like I quoted example, like you have the companies, what they do nowadays, if employee of a year, a month or something like that they have made. So this they have made the employee of a year, like the salesman of a year, who somebody who does very, very good sales, he can be given some benefits, so labor benefits, and all that thing also comes under the social responsibility. So these are the motivating factors. So there is something called the social responsiveness. Social responsiveness is the improve the quality of the work life. Now sometimes what happens in the office, if you go, we are in Bangalore, so we are very good, we are having nice time, their weather is good, excellent. But if you go to the North India, if you go towards Rajasthan, Gujarat, during summers it is very, very high temperatures are there, above 45 degrees like that. So anybody who is working in office, it will be very difficult for him to sustain. In Bangalore, if AC is not there, you can sustain, but there without AC, it is very difficult. So now improve the quality of work life. Now you in the office, you play a small company, but you give ACs to the office people. You have a good ACs installed. You give good furnitures installed, good desk, your table and everything. You give them properly. Infrastructure you give them. So these are all your comes under the social responsiveness. Anyone, any doubt till now? I hope my connection is not lost. Shraddha, are you there? Please switch on your videos.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Shraddha. Please switch on your videos. Sunil, are you there, Sunil?
Yes, sir.
Please switch on your videos. I hope you understood this CSR concept, CSR and the levels of CSR. You have any doubt in this? Shushma, you have any doubt? CSR?
No.
Okay, Harshita. Harshita, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
No doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Who else? Anyone, any doubts? Please ask now. Ganga Bhavani. No doubt? CSR? What is CSR? What do you mean by CSR then? Now we have seen so many. What do you mean by CSR? Okay, I have one small question because we have to interact, otherwise we will not be able to understand this concept. Okay.
Corporate social responsibility.
Social responsibility. What is that?
Corporate
Huh?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Vamshi.
Yeah, it's a corporate social responsibility that each company has to afford the society with their profits, minimum profits which they gain.
Yeah. Correct. Very correct. Very good. Now, this is an obligation. That means once you okay, let us say you are a company of profit less than 1 crore. Like say you are having a profit of 50 lakhs. Okay. Now tell me, what is your responsibilities towards the society? Or do you have to?
That depends on the individual company, sir. According to government, the company having a minimum profit of 1 to 10 crore, they have to donate 30% of their profit to society.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Not 30%. There is some stipulated. More than 10 crore, it is 30%.
Yeah, more than.
Yeah. So okay, good, Vamshi. So basically, it's up to you. How to go about this thing. But social responsibility you have to undertake, because whenever your company is being audited, that time the question may be asked for you: how exactly you are doing, how exactly you are conducting the audit and all social, what kind of responsibilities you are undertaking. Okay. So okay, now we can switch off your videos. We can start with your presentations. Okay. So CSR, different areas involved. Now it directly influences the management of the people in the company, because we know the CSR is directly related with the some kind of society contribution. So it all involves the management. Good practices in the labor field will allow companies to hire and retain talent, and to guarantee the excellence of service provided to the products manufactured. So this you see some companies have to practice certain good practices in the labor field. Otherwise, what will happen if the labor is not good? If you do not have proper good labor, then the productivity loses and the quality also suffers. So that time your company will go into a loss. So that time you have to calculate all these things, and you have to also practice the good practices for labor field. Then only your products will be manufactured with a high quality. So there is a guarantee in the excellence of the product. Now, the corporate governance and transparency. What happens in the corporate, there are certain governance, and we have to be transparent. That's why you can see the big hotshot companies, they put in their website, they show that we have done these many social responsibilities. We have undertaken these many social responsibilities in this year. and we have spent so much of money, we have so much of budget has been spent on this, everything they will mention. That is the transparency they will involve. Then human rights, they will also involve the human rights for the CSR responsibilities, and labor, the social environment, community links, social action, corporation of development, for development, then environmental impact. There are certain times we need to undertake certain actions for the how you can impact on the environment and all. So those things are also part of your. Now we talk about the different labor issues. Now labor issues. What are these labor issues? Now subcontracting, collective negotiation, consolidation of labor and family life, continuous training and recycling, safety and health, participation in benefits capital, labor integration, managing diversity. What do you mean by all these things? Labor issues. There are something, no, whenever you're doing subcontracting with when a management undertakes the contract with labor contract is there. So you have to give them, like, work, how much would be the each labor cost. And when you do all those things, you have to undertake certain aspects of their benefits, their profits, their interest also you should take while doing the subcontracting, not only your own profits and all. Then collective negotiation, when you have different certain contracts undertaking, then you have to ask each labor, they have to be in the part of their negotiation. Sometimes one labor may be interested, he is not interested in certain things, he may require some other thing. So all those things have to be taken care. And consolidation of labor and family life, you have to also see that the labor issues are there, like if he is working continuously, he should be given a kind of shelter nearby, because you must have seen some construction companies nowadays what they are doing, whenever they are going for a big projects, big apartments or developments, the labor will be given with some small shelters nearby, where their family and themselves they can stay there. And once the construction completed, then they can vacate and they can go for the other project. So these are the small things which they look after for some of the issues which are there with the laborers. Continuous training and recycling. Yeah, you have to train the laborers. This is also part of your, the social responsibilities. Then safety, health, of course, you have to take care of their labor safety and health. Yeah, these are all which are actually incurs expenses. It's an expenditure for the company, but they have to undertake. Like small things. What examples you can quote in Sai Vidya, where you have safety and health is taken care? Any in your, so we have some kind of a small MI room, or medical assistance is given here in case anyone gets injured. So any small medical assistance is given, or any fire extinguishers I have seen so many times wherever all labs are having fire extinguishers and all. So these are the things which are safety, actually part of safety. So these are actually can be claimed as part of the social responsibility for the labor class or even worker class. And participation in benefits and capital. So whenever any kind of you company or profit and all, that time you share certain things to your laborers also. The partner have a kind of a party, or have a kind of a get together where you can have some kind of a meeting where you can have some kind of discussion, their problems, then come up with some solutions. Then labor integration. Now what happens is the diversification of labor issues are very difficult, because you cannot manage them. You have to integrate them on a one platform so that the problems are minimized. What happens is in the labor class, when you go for that their issues, there will be different groups. When they have groups, they start fighting among themselves. So when they start fighting among themselves, then there will be a problem in your production units, because the labor class is the one class where actually that is the backbone of the company. If they go on strike, or if they would fight, if they do not perform, then you will be incurring a loss to your company and business. Then comes your, of course, your managing diversity. Managing diversity, that you have to diversify all the different labor classes which are there. Maybe some laborers which are working for foundry, or some people working in the administration department. Some people are working in the laboratory. So all these you have to diversify their issues, and collectively you have to take all the cognizance of all people and come to a final conclusion for all this and have a formulated the different, like, your diversified policies, and for whatever you have made, it should benefit each and every class of the category of the labor. So that is what is the managing the diversity. Now, then come some okay. We'll see one by one. The company's results can be affected by practices of small partners and suppliers. The measures of social responsibility in companies will affect its economic partners. When subcontracting, company will bear extra social responsibility. Sometimes the economic welfare of the supplier will depend totally on the company. Now, what happens is when we talk about the subcontracting with the supplier, now there is something, every company has got a supplier. Now you have to take care of the supplier, because if you do not take care of your supplier, he may not supply you the because if he is not in your good books, then what happens is then there may be chances that when you require you are in demand of the supplies, if he doesn't turn up, or if he is not cooperating with you, then what happens, you will be having a loss, because your production lines will be stopped because of that. So you have to be very, very careful in this. While subcontracting, you also carefully include in social responsibility terms and conditions in the so that he also gets benefited out of that. Then collective negotiation, as we discussed, this CSR cannot substitute the collective negotiations, the unions. The collective negotiation has nothing to do with the CSR employee associations. The collective agreement is binding. See, but always whenever anything happens, negotiation, but you have to take the cognizance of all people. Like it should be everyone's viewpoint should be taken, and a collective negotiation should be done. Collective negotiation can be a promotional frame for this type of policies which are not in the conflict with the free will. Then consolidation of labor and family life. Of course, we have discussed this. The company shall have a primary responsibility to allow its employee to have life after work. Active consolidation policies, social action, flexible working hours. Now, there are certain companies which I have seen, like they work 24/7, but they give the working hours as per the company workers. The workers may, like, companies open for 24 hours. The production lines are open for 24 hours. But what happens is they work in shift. Some people will, you must have seen some people going in shifts, working in, as per the requirement of the workers, the company will give their flexibility. So sometimes, the people who are working in the night, so they are given some flexible working hours. So their working hours are reduced. So something like that. These are the things which we have to give them. Even sometimes, they give some kind of shelters for this, for their family. They can stay there, and they can do the work with the family. And sometimes if some people are good, if they are doing very good in the work, if they are very good in the work, then what happens is that sometimes your boss may give them, okay, if he is producing results within 2 hours, which actually is supposed to be done in 4 hours, so he will feel that, okay, I'll give 1 hour off to you. You can go and do your personal work, or you want to do something like that, relaxation in the working hours. Continuous training and recycling. Yes, employees must have access to the continuous training as an element of the human resource policy. So in the Air Force, we have a kind of, on-job training. This is a continuous training what we give to our air warriors. This is it is an ongoing process, learning. So you always have a training element which is there. Out of our, Air Force works from 7:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon every day, and Saturday, Sunday being holidays. What happens is during 7:30 to 2:30, I was CO, I was a commanding officer of one of the unit. What I used to do is, early morning is a fresh time. So what I had, considering the requirements and interest of my own subordinates, what I used to do is, okay, morning 7:30, let us assemble, and then let us have 1 hour class, at any technical class, like any engineering concept or anything we'll undertake, because we were working on radar systems, missile systems. So we thought we'll conduct some training on the missile systems. What are the different missiles are available? How this is what kind of technology we use? Everything we have to refresh. It's a training every day, 1 hour training process. So this is part of your human resource policy. So similarly, it can undertake any kind of things. Sometimes, companies are offering some courses, online courses. They are paying for that online courses. These are also part of your training. Now, policies on training must include follow-up, action, and the control. Now, follow-up action means once you undertake the training is done. Once you undertake the training, what happens after training? What is the effect of the training? Feedback. What exactly happens? Whether I should improve the quality of training, or should I go for any upgraded version of training, or anything I should reduce, something like that. So it should basically follow-up action is very important in any kind of training, and also you should need to control. Then need for public sector to give due consideration to the company's efforts in this field. Yeah, of course. So everyone gives due consideration for this kind of training and recycling. Is nowadays every company has started this process actually, in fact, because this also actually is seen over a period of time. It also enhances the productivity, increases the profit. But because everyone is aware of the latest technologies, latest trends, what is going on, advanced improvement, what is happening in the outside world. So can that those improvements can be adopted in our own company or something like that. So all those things can be. Now, health and safety, of course, we discussed this also. Health and safety issues must be promoted through supplementary methods with a joint action involving governments, companies, and professional organizations. Always we should, because when we talk about the firefighting, when we talk about any safety things, if let us say if some company wants to start a COVID center, they want they want to have a separate COVID center, so they have to take permission from the government, by stating that yes, I want to involve government and take permission, and they can start for their laborers or the workers, so that it is a part of your social obligation. Then participation in the benefits or capital, an alternative to conflict. Participation means co-responsibility in the operation of the company. Tensions are possible, but not need to lead to conflict. See, this benefits basically when you are earning certain things, you are having good profits in the company. So better share with some percentage can be given, or some dividends can be given to your shareholders, stakeholders. So these kind of benefits and capital participation can be done at the higher level. Then labor integration, reference to unfavored groups. See, there are certain things. I already discussed. There are conflicts in your company. Creation of social insertion companies. Need for criteria, definitions for each industrial production sector, service sector, employee collaboration, voluntary. So all these things actually you have to integrate with different, like you have production units, service sectors, industrial lines. So all the different labor classes have to be integrated on one single platform, so as to look after their own, welfare and benefits. Managing diversity. In the last point we discussed hiring. Here we discuss the management. In this, it is an extension of a company's policies on social integration and partnership. Requires elimination of all forms of discrimination. Requires express acknowledgement of diversity. Adoption of socially responsible practices and implementation positive. That is basically implement positive actions to incorporate these values, provide a dynamic value and competitiveness to the company. Basically, this you have to manage the diversity in the companies for the labor class. Now we can see certain arguments for CSR. We'll see the arguments for CSR and for against also. So there have been some contentions, some discussions happened. So some people feel that it is good, it is not good. Also, we have all the arguments which are there for in favoring the CSR, and there are certain arguments which are there also which are not favoring to the CSR. So we'll see the arguments which are for the CSR. Now they say that the rise of large corporations has created social problems, and they should be responsible for solving these problems. Allows business to be part of the solution. That means not only your business, you also undertake social business also. That means along with the business, you also take care of the social things of your employees or your subordinates. This protects business its self-interest. Yeah, what happens is once people are happy, people are motivated. So there is a always there is a motivation levels are high. Then there is a production lines also high. So the profit is also high. So this is what is the one of the argument with the for the CSR. Now they say also that prevents unethical conduct which can have serious reputation and financial cost. So there may be some kind of unethical conduct if you are not following the CSR. So there could be a possibility that it may affect your reputation or maybe a financial effects implications. Then it addresses issues by being proactive and using business resources and expertise. Yes, by doing these CSR activities, it is actually proactive measures, and you also, using your own business resources and expertise for conducting these social responsibilities. So, which public strongly supports that. So, there have been people actually, the society supports the social responsibility. Now, there are certain arguments which are against social responsibilities. What are those points? Let us see. Social issues are not the concern of the business. That means some people say that, yeah, how can we call it as a social thing? How can I mix a social thing with the business? So social is different. Your family life is different. It's a personal thing. So you cannot mix that. These are some arguments which are there. So both are there. Some people are favoring it. Some people are not favoring it. So managers do not have expertise to make social decisions. They are oriented towards the finance and operations. Some people feel that managers are only for the making the finance and operational or administrative decisions, but not for the social decisions. Social decisions means if any person is having any kind of any problem, like say, if a person working under you, you are a manager and you are any person working under you has got some psychological problem or he is under depression. So what do? You never bother. Okay, I am taking work from him. In spite of being under depression, you give him more work. You put him under pressure. So the managers feel that no, I am only finance and operations oriented. So I will not concern about what you problems you are having. It's medical problem. Your own personal problems. So some people feel that, but it's not the way of life. These arguments are actually not very much encouraged nowadays. Then business already has enough power. If given decision-making power in the social domain, business will be given too much power. That means some people feel that business is already having power, and by giving such kind of social domain for decision-making, then they will have too much power. That means they will control the personal things of your own company employees. That's what some people feel. Now, to give an example, I don't agree with this kind of arguments against CSR, because when I was in one of the Air Force unit, when I had found out that one person was under depression. Okay, what happened was, depression means, okay, I will just stop here because this is the last slide what we are talking about. Now, okay, I'll just finish this and then we can discuss. Okay, fine. Okay. Social issues are not concern of the business, what you said. The business already has enough power, so it will be given more power. The ability to compete in the global market piece could be limited. What some people feel that you may not be able to compete with others if you do all these things. So all these arguments are there. Now, when we consider this argument, now we talk about that. When I was just given an example, I was in one of the Air Force unit. I told you I was commanding officer of one of the unit. What happened was, when I was, because what happened as a CEO of a unit, you have to go and see how my operations are going on, how my activities are going on, whether everyone is working properly or not. Sometimes I used to suddenly go and do the checks. So when I was doing certain checks, I found that in one of my radar, a person was sitting there. He was actually under depression and he is unable to perform the duties properly. So I felt something wrong within this person. Now I had two choices. Okay, as a CEO, I had powers, so I could have given him a warning letter, because he was collapsing. He was almost like sitting in a depression mode and not doing the work and all. So I could have given him a warning letter. I could have asked him an explanation why you are doing. I could have given him a show cause notice to explain why he is not performing the duties. So, and moreover, he is having arguments with the colleagues also. So then what happened? Then what I did, I called to my office and I asked him, what is the problem? Why you are not able to perform, and there are so many complaints against you? So I can give you show cause notice right now and you can explain in writing. But however, I will give one chance to you to explain. So when I asked him to explain, this is actually social domain. I am going into the social domain of the company, organization I am working. I should have actually given him a show cause notice. I could have taken action. Now, what action I did, I asked, okay, I'll just come out of this presentation and I'll just talk to you face to face so that I can explain. Okay, switch on your videos for a moment. Everyone, this thing I want to explain to you. Everyone, please switch on your videos. Harshita, Bhavani, Shushmita. Yeah, please switch on your videos and don't switch on the videos until unless I say. It's not that you are putting an attendance and going. You have to be there because it's interaction, and the whole thing is being recorded. Kindly, please understand. Once you go out, it is being recorded. It will be. I can take it out. Now, see, as a part of social responsibility. Now, as a commanding officer, I could have given him a warning letter, or I could have shouted at him. I could have taken action against him for not doing the work. But see, at times you have to analyze why this guy is doing any problem. So I called him to my office. I asked him, why the hell you are not working? What is the problem with you? See, when I introspected, when I went into his social domain, little bit, not much. For that, we have to communicate properly and we have to have a trust on him, and he should also have trust on us that your boss is asking something. So it's a one-to-one. So when I went to his social domain, I found out that he expressed clearly, started crying and told he had some marital problems. In his wife, he is having fight with wife. He's fighting with every day. She's having fight with the wife, and he is getting upset. And because of that, it is getting affected in your work. So what happens if you do not correct at this stage? What happens? You will go in more depression. Your work suffers. Your production lines will suffer. Your whole one person like this. If 2-3 people are there in your undergoing depression, maybe because of any other reason. So if you do not correct and check it, if you do not enter into the social domain, what will happen is it will affect your own company profit. I'm not talking about our own this thing. I'm talking about for company profile also and the business also. So I corrected it because I felt something. Then I thought there is something, some issue is there. I asked what is the problem. See, the problem was the lady was from the high society. She was from a very rich family. Now this guy is an airman who is an airman in a Air Force, a small air warrior who is a young person. And that lady was a crorepati, actually from Delhi. Then what happened? I thought I will have to counsel this, otherwise it will create problems. One day I called to my house, both of them. I had a nice garden in my outlet out of my outhouse. So I called them, had a cup of tea with them, just discussed what happened. So I could sense all silly problems. That lady is grown up in some kind of high rich environment. I counseled her. I told her, this is Air Force. We have to you can't have that much of luxury. You can't expect a 5-star things facility everywhere. So you have to. We are not low. Also, we are not very high. Also, we are moderate. We can something like that. And also, she was overqualified. She was she did the MSc, something like that. Then I actually counseled both of them. In fact, the fight started. You know what? What a silly fight started. Because this guy watched a Bahubali movie, Bahubali 2 movie. There was so much of bloodshed and all. So she was after that Bahubali watching, this guy was very arrogant. That's her complaint. When I heard both the arguments, I found this silly reason for the fight. So then I actually we had a nice snacks, and then we resolved all these actual small things with counseling of 2 hours. When I entered into the social domain, I could able to convince them. Now, till now, they are happily living. Yeah, when I checked just 1 month back also, they are after counseling, they are now, there is no issue at all. That guy is very nice. And after that, he started improving in his work. Also, he did very well. I commended him. I given appreciation letter for him also for the work because he was a good guy. So we have to enter into the social domain of a person who is having some problems. This is all part of your social responsibilities. I could have done, okay, I could have given him straight away punishment. Okay, you are not doing this, kindly you do this. So what would have happened? It would have gone in a worst situation. When something happens like punishment and all, what happens is the guy, you are not able to solve the problem, then the situation will go bad. In house also he will have problem. In the office also he is having problem. So suddenly what happens is suddenly the depression is not treated properly. He may suddenly take an extreme step and do something which is so these are things happen. People, air warriors who have been not counseled properly, they have shot themselves when they are doing guard duties in the stations. when they are doing security duties, they are having all arms and all, but rounds are there with them. So one person, one night duty is doing. In the midnight, he cocks the gun, he pulls the bullets, rounds, and he shoots himself. So these things have happened. So please understand, this is very important. Social domain of a business is also social responsibility. It is you as a manager or as a engineer, when you grow in career, so you please understand the small things you have to take steps, and corrective actions needs to be done at the appropriate level. Okay. So just giving you a small example, you can correlate. Don't write all these stories in an exam, otherwise it will be just for understanding. I'm telling you all these things. Yeah. Anyone has got any doubt till now? Anyone has got any doubt till now? Sunil, no doubt? Geeta, no doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So, okay, fine. So this is about the corporate social responsibilities we are talking about. Okay. So I think
Okay.
you have got another class, right? Or you have break. Yeah, you have break, lunchtime. Yeah, I don't want to eat lunchtime. So fine. If you have any doubts, you can clarify. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait for one. I'm taking the attendance. I'm picking up the attendance. Wait. I'll save and then I'll let you go. Yeah, somebody is singing. Very nice. Vamshi, sing properly, no? See, in PES, I saw during the class also, they are allowing students to do some activities for 5 minutes. So it's good actually. It motivates you. You are ready for the listening. Proper attention is given. Okay. Vamshi, if you want to sing a song,
No, sir. No, sir.
You are singing, no?
No, sir.
Sing loudly. Everyone will enjoy. Okay. Take care. Thank you so much. My attendance is over. Now I am switching off recording. 1:30 is going to be 1:30 now. So I am stopping my recording.